The Virgin of El Cisne has just begun one of Ecuador's most important religious pilgrimages, and her story is more than 400 years old. 45,000 pilgrims are accompanying her on a 74-kilometer journey from the mountainous community of El Cisne to the city of Loja. Along the way, she wears at least 6 different outfits, and this year, her outfits carry a special message. Her first dress features a dove and embracing hands representing peace and God's protection. Her second includes an image of Jesus and was created as a prayer to protect Ecuador from natural disasters. This virgin story begins in 1594, when the indigenous community of Chayalama was suffering from a devastating drought and famine. As the inhabitants prepared to abandon their land, the Virgin Mary reportedly appeared to a young indigenous shepherdess. She asked the community to build her a chapel and promised that they would not go hungry. Because of this vision, the community stayed. The rains returned and the land became fertile again. The following year, in a sign of gratitude to the Virgin, the inhabitants commissioned the famed Spanish sculptor Diego de Robles to create an image of her. He produced a 66-centimeter tall cedar statue, and from that point on, the tradition of taking her on a yearly pilgrimage to Loja began. It continued growing for hundreds of years until in 1829, Simón Bolívar actually transformed the pilgrimage into an economic stimulus by decreeing that the Virgin would travel to the city every year. As the devotion continued growing, construction began in 1934 on the enormous Gothic-style basilica that now dominates the small mountain community of El Cisne, which was completed in 1978. But despite this centuries-long history, the relationship many Ecuadorians have with the Virgin is personal rather than historical. They do not usually call her by her formal title of La Virgen del Cisne. Instead, they affectionately call her La Churona because of her long curls, churros, in her hair. That nickname shows an extraordinary intimacy that is very characteristic of Latin American Catholicism. She is not treated as a distant historical figure, but almost as a member of the community. Someone who travels, wears different outfits, receives gifts, and accompanies families through illness, migration, and hardship. Would you ever walk the 74-kilometer pilgrimage with her? And if you have already done it, what was the experience like?